Hello, this is Twiggy here. I'm here to tell you a story about two lions, Caesar and Sarah, and two tigers, Tarzan and Royal, who were in a circus in Portugal that went bust. And so they were left in a truck on the side of the road, being fed scraps by the people who went by. And obviously that is no way for large cats like this to exist. And then along came Animal Defenders International, and they've rescued the cats, which is the good news, and they're in a safe zoo in Portugal now. But the next move is to get them to South Africa, where they've been accepted into a fantastic wildlife sanctuary, where they can live happily for the rest of their life. But that's where you guys come in, because Animal Defenders need your money, and we need to help them, not only for these cats, but for other animals that are being rescued all the time from circuses all over the world. It's hard to believe in this day and age that this goes on, and not only with circuses, but it's important to get them into the sanctuaries, because apparently, I've learnt this today, people pay big money to poachers to shoot these big cats, like 30,000 a pop, which is beyond comprehension. So they have to be in a sanctuary, they have to be guarded and looked after. And so you've got to help, You know, these are creatures that will disappear one day if we don't do anything about it. And, you know, they're wonderful animals, and they shouldn't be in circuses performing for us. You know, what's all that about? I mean, it's unbelievable. So please help, dig as deep as you can. It's really appreciated, thank you.
Well, if you're watching this, it means that you support Animal Defenders International, or if you don't, I hope you will by the time I've finished. They're fronting a fantastic campaign to rescue two lions and two tigers from a Portuguese circus that went broke, and these animals were just languishing by the side of the road in their cages with no water and being fed scraps by passers-by and the locals. They've now rescued them. They're in a Lisbon zoo temporarily, whilst we get their their export permits, and then they're going to go down to a wonderful sanctuary in South Africa. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of animal welfare in Europe. We have to change the law, and we have to do a lot more for the other animals that are still in these desperate situations. Other animals travelling in circus, about 1,000 wild animals in circus all over Europe, not to mention squalid zoos. And what you can do is, if you go abroad, you can alert Animal Defenders International. How do you do that? Google up the name on the website, and you'll find their website. So just Google up Animal Defenders International, go online and tell them what you've seen, or get their phone number and tell them. Write to your MP, write to your MEP, do everything you can, and we can change things for these wonderful, wonderful animals who just simply shouldn't be where they are.
Hi, I'm Uri Geller, and I'm so pleased to be involved with Animal Defenders International in making something very important happen. There are two lions and two tigers that are languishing in a bankrupt circus in Portugal. We've got to get them out. I'm a huge believer that animals, any animal, should have the ability to live like a human, because animals feel pain, they have emotions, and they want to have a good life. We're doing everything in our capacity to get them out of Portugal into a safe haven in South Africa. So please, please help us achieve this goal. Please. I'm Uri Geller, and I thank you very, very much for helping us.
My name is Carol Royal, and I'm in the theatre. But I'm also very, very interested in making things better on this planet for the species that accompany us in this journey of life. I'd like to introduce to you the Animal Defenders International, who are one of the organisations who are actually doing what we all hope might be better for animals eventually. Now, let me put to you a situation that we have at the present time. Circuses, zoos, performing animals. Now, zoos and performing animals have their own set of laws, which aren't great, but circuses really have no laws at all, because they're moving around the world all the time. Now, with the best will in the world to try to make things better for them, you actually can't do it. It's impossible because you can't monitor them. They cross borders. There's a great deal of smuggling that goes on as a consequence. You can't monitor things that happen behind closed doors. Custom officials can't confiscate because there's nowhere to put the animals. These creatures are docile by nature, or the wild animals fierce. They are often housed with the wrong species so that terrible fights break out. There is no way of monitoring what happens. Now the fact is that these creatures need to be protected, and the only way that circus animals can actually be protected is to stop them altogether from being allowed to perform. You know, the Victorians brought this extraordinary thing into operation. They seem to have a desire to see performing animals. More and more these days, we don't want to. In fact, people in England anyway go to circuses without animals in. Now, the Animal Defenders International are particularly at the moment looking after 4 creatures: Tarzan, Sarah, Royale, and Caesar. These animals are cats, and they are doing everything in their power to get them into a new Animal Defenders International sanctuary in South Africa from Portugal. These cats were being abused in a circus in Portugal. Animal defenders have stepped in. They're in quarantine at the moment. They're being monitored by Animal Defenders International. And very shortly, once their quarantine is over and they are in a state fit enough to travel, they're going to be travelling from Portugal to South Africa, where they are now going to be protected.
It's fantastic.